Hi, and thanks for joining us today for today's launch event. I'm Rebecca, and I'm joined by Andy Roberts, the CEO and founder here at Weekly10. We're really excited to show you how your new goals and OKR experience works in Weekly10. It's available from Monday on web and in Microsoft Teams. So we are recording this session today, and you'll get an email from me on Monday with access to this recording, along with the links to our support knowledge base. There's a Q&A panel on your screen, so feel free to pop your questions and feedback in there as we go along. And with that, I'll hand you over to Andy.
Thanks, Rebecca. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the session today. We'll just get started by giving an intro to and a bit of a recap really on what's available in Weekly10 at the moment, and then we'll jump straight into showing you the new functionality and how you can get to grips with the functionality itself. So we'll just get going. Fantastic. So we'll start off by giving you a quick overview as to what are goals and what are OKRs. Now, many of you will have been using goals and OKRs throughout your time using Weekly10 until now. And now we're taking a fresh look at how we can provide these to you and how you can manage these through the Weekly10 platform. So just to recap, goals are still the most widely used way of tracking both performance and objectives within Weekly10 and actually more widely around the world. But goals are really a flexible way of measuring a range of effort and output-based activities, projects or objectives. Now, goals within Weekly10 are set using the SMART mnemonic. So it's all about making goals specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. And this can be a very familiar way of setting goals for employees. Now, goals do encourage employees to take accountability for making sure they have these goals and these targets for themselves. They're also a good way of aligning and cascading strategic goals or objectives and bringing those down to department, team or individual level. But they can also be used to plan and track professional development. And we're actually adding some new ways of using categories within goals for you to be able to take more advantage of including those professional development goals within the way in which you use Weekly10 and you use goals within the system. Now, goals are the default setting within Weekly10. If you're already using goals, there is the opportunity to switch to OKRs, which we'll talk about in a moment. But actually, in the next couple of months, so it won't be available quite yet, but in the next couple of months, we will be giving you the opportunity to use OKRs and goals side by side in the system for the first time. And not many platforms allow you to use goals and OKRs side by side, but that will be something that will be available to you in the next couple of months. Now, coming to OKRs. OKRs are objectives and key results. And OKRs are quite a paradigm shift from your traditional approach to setting goals and objectives using the SMART mnemonic, as we mentioned. Now, OKRs are really a way of tracking outcomes and tracking your outcomes to certain stretch objectives that you may have. Now, OKRs need to consist of an objective, which does not have a specific metric tied to the objective itself, and this should be a stretch target. So it may be, for example, make Weekly10 the best place to work. Okay, and that can be our strategic objective. And then underneath that, we must add a number of key results. Now, these key results are much more similar to goals in the fact that they should be metric based, and again, they should be time bound. However, what's different to goals is that these should always measure outcomes. So if we are to become the number one company for employee engagement, then actually we should be measuring the outcomes that demonstrate that we're a top company for employee engagement. So, for example, having a high 10-pulse score, increasing our eNPS to a certain score. We shouldn't be measuring input, we should be measuring output, and that's the way that OKRs work. Now, OKRs do encourage collaboration across teams, and OKRs tend to be set more at a shared level, so at a team, department, or organization level. And to my point earlier about bringing goals and OKRs side by side, is when we release that to the platform, that will give you the opportunity to actually use those in that way. They're a really good way of sharing and communicating strategy, and in many organizations that use them, they replace the traditional KPI approach. So your kind of key performance metrics that you have are being increasingly replaced by OKRs as the measure of success. OKRs are typically set on a quarterly basis. So you may have some organization level OKRs for that cover the full year, but certainly on a personal and a team level, you would be looking at setting OKRs on a quarterly basis, and then you would review them and then set new OKRs for the next quarter. So both of these frameworks, both goals and OKRs, are available in the new framework, just as they are in the existing framework. And the way in which you use them is very, very similar. The key differences are that with OKRs, there are more limitations as to how you construct the goals. So you construct the objectives, or you construct the relationships that they have in the system. So a little bit behind the new goal experience and why we've looked to iterate and improve the goal experience. So the goal experience in Weekly 10 is very flexible already, in the fact that you have the ability to set organization, department, team, and individual goals or objectives. But we do know that there is a level of complexity in there which limits the ability to analyze the data and also to understand the relationships between different goals. And you kind of had to be an expert within that part of the platform to use it. So we've really tried to simplify the platform. And what we've also tried to do is make sure that we bring these three key elements, which are really important to using goals and OKRs, really core to what we've done with this development. So first of all, making sure that the cadence is still there, so that goals and OKRs are still part of the check-in element of Weekly 10, and they stay front of mind really for your employees and your managers. Making sure that transparency is better as well. So again, how employees can find those organization goals or analytic or objectives, they are very easy to find within the new platform, and understand the relationship, of course, between those different levels of goals and objectives as well. And finally, making sure that actually you're able to spend more of your time looking at the data and understanding the data in a quick way, rather than digging around for it. So we do know at the moment that getting data out of the goals platform is a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult, and you don't have access to the analytics portion. With the new goals and OKRs experience, you have a really deep insight into the progress and health of those OKRs and objectives in the platform itself. So with that, we're going to jump straight into the platform and show you how the new experience looks within the platform itself. So I'm just going to hide this away, and we'll jump straight into the platform. So the new experience is available through our web platform and our Teams platform as well. So many of you will be using one or other of those platforms. I'm going to start off in the web platform, but the experience is exactly the same within Teams, and I'll briefly show the Teams experience when we bring that up. Okay. Now, in terms of where you will find the goal screens, they're in exactly the same location as you know them normally. So for an employee, they can go to their Me tab and they can click on goals. The My Team level, exactly the same, and the organization level, exactly the same. Now, the screens are very similar across all of these different environments. The key thing is the context, and the context at which you're looking at those goals. So as an administrator, and most of you on this call will be administrators, or at least have a wider access than standard to the platform itself. So from an employee's perspective, of course, generally they just see the Me tab, and when they go into the goals area, they normally just see their own individual goals. What you will now see is they now have very, very quick access using these quick filters to not only their own goals, but to their team's goals, to department level goals, and then right the way through to organization goals as well. And they can quickly do that using our new quick filters along the top. Now, these quick filters are common across both the me, the my team, and the organization tab. However, they will differ in context. So whilst I'm logged in through the me tab, I'm obviously seeing everything from my view as an employee. When I come into the my team tab, I'm looking at everything as a manager. And then of course at the organization side, you're looking at it more at an aggregate level, either as a department administrator or as an organizational level administrator. Okay, but the use of the platform is exactly the same at each of those different levels. So what you'll see is, as an employee, I can come straight into the screen here. I can go in, add my goal or OKR very quickly and easily, just as I do today. Now, the add goal, the edit goal, the update goal functionality is exactly how you will know it in the existing screens. So you'll be able to add all of your title, description, units, sub goals, and exactly the same with your OKRs as well. So the familiarity with the existing screens is key to really understanding how the new screens work as well. So you'll very easily see that you have access to your to your goals. What you'll also notice is there's a few changes to the way in which the goals look. So first of all, you'll see that we now have this progress bar on the right hand side. Now this is just indicating to you the progress between the baseline and the target, and then in the middle you're seeing the current value, so the current progress towards that that target. You've still got the familiar jump out menu, so you're able to do your updating progress, archiving, view the progress, which is your charts, edit, duplicate, and of course delete those goals as well. So you have a lot of ability to do that very easily through what is existing capability. You'll also see you've got the relationship here to the parent goal. So if I click on that, now it loads an overlay. So this overlay really allows you to explore the relationship with that goal. So it's now loaded the parent goal up, but I can then keep going up to the different levels of the organization if I want. And then of course I can break these down as well and explore those different parts of the organization. Okay, so that's what the employee will see. Likewise, as I said, if there are team level goals set, they'll be able to see those, department, right the way through to organization as well. And the same thing we have as we currently do now. You have the ability to look by quarter or by specific dates, or indeed by the whole year if you wish to. So that's the employee's experience. They'll also have access to the analytics screen. Now, we'll cover the analytics screen a little bit later when we come to the admin view, but the dashboard view, so the analytic view, is available to all employees, but of course it only shows them the information they have access to. So if they only have access to their own goals, their team level goals, department, organization, they will see the data for those. Of course, if you're a team manager, you'll see your team's data around that as well. And you can just switch between the list view and the analytics view from the top side of the screen here. So manager's experience, we'll jump into the My Team tab. And what you'll see here is we've got the goals option as usual. We click on that and you'll see it will now load the goals relevant for my team. So first of all, you'll see our quick filters are slightly different. In this case, we've got team members, and you'll see now that we're actually able to see all of my team members in one screen, and we can expand and contract the different categories by using the button here. And you'll now immediately see for every member of my team, I can quickly see the goals or the OKRs that they have set. And to add a goal, you simply click on the heading icon here. I guess as I say, you can fold and collapse these very easily. These will also what we call lazy load. So if you have a big long list, you just keep scrolling and it will continue to load these as you'd expect. I can then click on team and it's going to show me my team level goals. Again, I have the ability to then explore these in more detail. So I've just expanded the sub goals underneath here, and you'll see that I can see all of those team members. So Ellie, Connor, and John, who have goals aligned through to my team level goal. Again, department, and then back up to organization as well. So for the manager, they have a really quick way of seeing their team's goals as well as their team level goals. You'll know from the existing capability that you need to switch screens to be able to see team level goals. So a team and individual goals. So this gives a really quick way of moving between each of those as well. And then finally, at the organization level, you of course then have a slightly different view once again. So in this case, on organization level, you're coming in either as an admin at the department level or at the organization level. And here you'll see, first of all, you have your organization breakdown. So I've got access to my organization goals, which is standard, but you can then go through and explore all of the department level goals. Now, of course, if you have access to all departments, you'll see all departments. If you only have access to your own department, you'll just see your specific department. Likewise, team, I can quickly go in and look at team level goals, and then I can go down to personal goals. And in this case, I'm able to see all of the goals in the organization for individuals. So I'm able to very quickly see those individuals within the screen here. The other great feature here is that you can also use the advanced filter option. So if you click on the filter icon here, you're able to go in and start filtering or changing the goal type within the screen. So if, for example, I want to see every single goal or objective that's been set in the organization, I simply change the goal type to all. And then you'll see immediately we've now loaded all of the goals in the organization level, the department level, team level, and then down to personal level as well. Again, we could then do some filtering if we wanted to. So we could go in and even filter by RAG status or category, or by different departments, team, person, or individual as well, very easily from this screen. You'll also notice another option, which is the ability to export the goals. So on the right-hand side here, you'll see that we have this new download option. If you click on that, that will download all of the goals for the current view within the screen, and that will export those out to Excel for you. And when you open your Excel up, you then of course have access to all of those goals which have been created as part of within that category of view that you have. And that will work again at any level of the organization based on the data that you've looked at. Great. So what we've talked about so far is this list view within the system itself, and this is where we're listing those goals or those objectives or OKRs. Now, as you'll know, with the existing functionality, you're having to move between the different levels. Here you're able to use the quick filters very easily, and of course this advanced filter that we've just shown you as well. Now, the other view that you now have access to within the system is the graphical view. So as well as seeing the data and seeing the progress to those goals and the definition of those goals, you can now flick over to our analytics screen. And here you see some really interesting insights, and this is the real kind of game changer and the big change between our existing functionality and what we're launching today. And that is the ability to actually look at the progress of those goals over time. So we're now showing you, in this instance, all of the goals in the organization. We're showing you them the ideal progress in the last quarter versus the actual progress over that period of time. We can actually see our progress is dropping according to the chart here. On the right hand side, we can see our goal status. So we can see in October and November what the RAG statuses were across all of the goals that we currently had set in the organization. I can then change this maybe to the last year, and we'll see that over the last year. So we can see our progress, so our ideal progress versus our actual progress, and then of course we can see the health of those goals over time as well. We have some other interesting insights here as well. So we're able to see goal progress by different categories. So because we're looking at the organization level, this is defaulting to department, but we could go in and look at category or team or even down to an individual level. We can then see, for example, these are all of the goals within each department that we have. And then we can go in and actually explore these. So we've got 17 human resources goals on track, we click on the 17, we'll now be able to see an insight into all of those goals set within human resources. And we can see we have one HR level, department level goal, and then we have lots of individual level goals here as well that we can explore. And these are the 17 goals, which are all set to on target. We click go back, and then we're back into the analytics screen that we were seeing just now. So you have the breakdowns here, and of course you can go into any of these categories or click on any of the numbers to explore those in more detail. On the right hand side, we have the view of all the goals within this breakdown. And then we also have some exception widgets here, which give you an idea of the goals which have been set within the organization. So we can quickly see that across the organization, we have 93% of employees with goals set, which of course leads us to 17 without. And if we want to find out who those, 7 without, if we want to find out who that 7% is, we click on 7%, and you immediately see that we have the 2 people that don't have personal goals set. So you can quickly see whether there's anybody you need to reach out to. Likewise, we've got 80% of departments with goals and without. And again, if you click on the information, it will give you it will give you more detail. We also have our goals aligned widget, which is showing us that 87% of goals in the organization are aligned. So that means that they have a parent goal within the organization. You would not expect this to be 100%, but it can be a really good metric to understand the alignment within the organization. So it's a very useful metric. Of course, as you use your quick filters, this will also update your graphical view. And then when you switch to your list view, of course, that's giving you that data. So again, if I'm on personal here and I switch to the graphical view, you'll immediately see that it's now showing me all personal goals in the organization. So it's telling me all those personal goals rather than including those other categories as well. So you have a lot of flexibility with your quick filters, your advanced filters here as well, and then the ability to move between your list view and your graphical view in the system as well. So they are the key elements of the new functionality. Exactly the same capability is now available within Microsoft Teams as well. So within Teams itself, you will see that you have access to all of the functionality we've just shown you. So if we jump into Teams here, and we click on Team Goals, you'll see immediately we have the same layout, the same ability to go in and look at both the list view and the graphical view. So you're seeing the same capability between both of those platforms. The big difference at this moment in time is within the Teams environment, you only have the Me and the My Team tab. However, of course, you can always access the organization level goals, and you can always use your advanced filters within this environment. We will be launching an organization tab within Teams, again, within the early part of next year. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But in the meantime, you still have the same capability within the Teams environment. There is very little difference between the current check-ins, so we won't be demonstrating how you update your goals in the check-ins themselves, but they are still a core part of the goals capability. The main functionality that's being released today is focused around your graphical and analytical views of the goals, as we've demonstrated today. Now, to get started with this, you will have the option at the top right of the screen to be able to switch on the capability. So, for example, if we switch over to Teams, you'll see that you have the option here to switch back to the old experience. However, when you switch back to the old experience, you always have the capability of switching back to the new experience. So here is the old experience that you're used to at the moment. You'll see the option at the top. You click on try out new experience and you'll be switched into the new experience, and that will be latching. So that will mean that you will stay within the new experience until you opt out. We're launching this today, and it will be rolled out across your accounts over the next few days. So I wouldn't expect everybody necessarily to get it today, but by Monday you will certainly have access to the platform itself. we will be switching this on as the default option for everybody, for all of our clients from January. However, until January, you will have this beta access by opting into the experience at the top right of your screen. This will be available to other users as well. So if you do want to communicate within your organization for people to try this out, of course, they can go in, switch on the new experience if they wish, and be able to manage their goals and update their goals within that new environment. Fantastic. So with that, we'll switch back to the questions. So we have 5 minutes left, or 4 minutes left. So what we'll do is we'll just open up the floor to any questions that we have. I think Rebecca's just monitoring the chat there. So any questions come in so far, Rebecca?
Yeah, Andy, a lot of them actually have been around when are we going to be getting access to this, to the new experience. Obviously, it looks a lot kind of a lot easier to use and a lot more kind of user friendly. So as you mentioned, that'll be on Monday. I guess some of the other questions that have come in, a common theme has been around kind of what's driven this, why launch the new experience.
Yeah, so the new experience, really, I mean, some of our clients on here will probably be familiar with providing a little bit of feedback to us over the last couple of years on what they would like to see in the new experience. And we have worked with a number of those clients on developing this experience to be as rich but as easy to use as possible. And that's really been the balance. And this is why we've taken our time to put together the new functionality to make sure there's a real balance between ease of use, which is really important to Weekly 10, and one of the number one reasons why people buy into Weekly 10. But number two is also to give that deeper insight into using goals and OKRs. And what we did is we kind of looked at what everybody else is doing. We also looked at what our clients wanted and what we're doing at the moment, and we tried to get really that sweet spot between ease of use and giving those insights. And we hope we've done that with the experience itself. And the timing really has been down to making sure that we've got that experience where we want it to be. We've always wanted to improve the OKRs and goals experience, and bringing all that together and making sure that we have those foundations in place has been key to that. So it has been probably a journey of 9 months to get this new experience available to you. It is being launched as what we call a beta at the moment, which means that some functionality may change over the next few weeks, just as we improve and we tweak the system, which is why it will be launched fully in January. But we thought, and we've had the feedback from most of you guys, that you wanted access as soon as possible. So that's what we've done. We've tried to get you guys access as quickly as possible so you can start playing with the new experience.
So the next question we've got is, do you still update goals and OKRs through the check-in?
100%, yes. So you really, when you're looking at the edit and the update functionality, it's exactly the same as it always has been. So whether that's within the goal screen and you click on the pop-out menu and click on update to update the goal, or edit to edit it, that's exactly the same experience as you've had previously. In the check-in, exactly the same. You'll see exactly the same experience. And likewise, if you're using our conversations platform for performance reviews, one-to-ones, and anything such as that, then you'll see the same experience in there as well. What I would say is you're going to see some really exciting spin-off features from this functionality. So our core functionality is being launched now, but actually there will be some really key bits of functionality coming into our conversations, which link back to our new goals and OKR experience, likewise within the check-ins as well. So early next year, we'll be adding a refresh to the way in which goals and OKRs appear within the check-ins as well. So this is the first step in a number of changes we're making for goals and OKRs.
That's fantastic. Thanks ever so much. And I guess I'll hand back to you now to wrap up.
Great. Thanks, Rebecca. So thanks for your time today, guys. It's great to speak to you, and thanks for all those questions. This session is recorded, so of course there will be a recording going out afterwards if you wish to share it with any other teammates that you have or anybody else within the organisation. In terms of the go live, so some of you will have access to this capability right now. However, it's being rolled out across all of our regions over the next few days. So it's likely to be completed by Saturday. So certainly from Monday, you'll have access to that goals and OKR experience. As we said, at the moment, it's an opt-in per user option. So that means you need to go to goals, opt in, and you'll have that access. You can then obviously opt out if you wish to as well. So it's a per user opt-in. If you want to switch this on early for your whole organization, so you want to opt everybody in automatically, then please reach out to your HR customer success partner, who hopefully you'll know very well, and they'll be able to get that added for you and enabled sooner rather than later. If you're not sure who your CSP is, then just email support@weekly10.com and we'll be able to help you as quickly as we can. So thanks for your time today, and as always, we've got lots of documentation on support.weekly10.com, including some videos on how to use the new capability. But we hope you had I hope this was helpful, and I hope to speak to you all soon.